Sandro here from Carcraft Auto Detailing in Melbourne. Today's video, as per request, is a comparison of some of the most popular car waxes out on the market today. I'll be reviewing their finishes, durability, ease of application, as well as looking at the level of protection they provide and assessing their cost and value. As mentioned in a previous video, it's sometimes difficult to define what a car wax really is and should be, as waxes just aren't waxes anymore. Traditionally, these products will comprise of all natural ingredients, predominantly containing a bees or carnauba wax and some natural oils. But apart from a few exceptions, you'll struggle to find many waxes that are true to their name. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just that many of these products, including the ones I'll be looking at today, are closely linked and contain more synthetic than natural properties that perhaps places them in the category of a sealant. I think the word wax is just added to their title in order to make them more appealing to a market that is familiar and comfortable with this term. As I know that many of my customers just aren't really aware of what a sealant and let alone a coating really is. So is the popular labelled term synthetic wax just another word for sealant? Maybe. And are many of these products just finished and packaged to look like a common wax because their market research told them it would sell better if it was? Probably. That's just my little observation and some of the thought process I went through when thinking about this video and trying to be true and objective in my reviews. But ultimately, what really matters is how well these products work, the value they provide, and the needs and expectations they address. So my conclusion in selecting and evaluating these broader categorized waxes was, if the manufacturer and brand has called it or marketed it as a wax, I would assess it likewise. So how do I really work out if one wax is better than the next? Honestly, just like anyone else, I'll have my own opinion. And that's going to be based on what I think is important and what I want to get out of these products. Just as your own opinions should be as well. Most obviously, I want gloss and depth of shine. A product that will make the hard work I've put into preparing and restoring the car's paint and amplify that finish to the next level. I also want a smooth gliding surface that feels like glass, as it's not only satisfying and addictive to run your hands over it, but it's a way of testing its repelling abilities. Friction means the contaminants will stick to it rather than gliding off. Ease of application is another big deciding factor. How easily does it apply and remove, and can I effectively use it in sunlight and on warmer and colder days? I also want to importantly protect the paint. So how well does it fight off water spots and etchings? Is fallout able to be removed easily? And does a simple wash restore the finish? Lastly is durability. How long does that first day look of application last? How is it reacting to water a month or two down the track? And is it keeping the sun's UV from fading and diminishing the paint? Depending on where you live, how your car is stored, and how well it's maintained, will create a lot of variance and outcomes that may differ from person to person. So, Joe who says his wax lasted a year on his weekend garage queen isn't going to mean jack to John, whose work truck lives outside, is used every day, and is parked across from a train station. And just before we have a look at some products, I want to mention that apart from a couple of waxes here that I've been testing over the last month or so, I've used all the rest of these products in the past. Some more extensively than others, and many for both personal and professional applications. But for the purpose of this video, I wanted to do some further side-by-side comparisons, testing these products in a more uniform and level playing field, where they would be exposed to the same conditions over the same amount of time, hopefully giving me some further insights and reducing the amount of variables that could potentially falsify the results. And one last point I want to make is that all these products, apart from a couple of weak points they may have, are actually all fantastic waxes in their own right. And the differences in their performance, for the most part, are quite small. It's really just that last 10 to 15% or so that separates the better ones from the rest. First up, I want to look at two products I've been testing more recently for only a month or so now, starting with a brand I've been wanting to try for a while, which is Angel Wax and their Guardian Wax. I believe this is meant to be the company's most durable wax, claiming 6 to 9 months longevity, which is pretty insane for a wax that's meant to be predominantly natural in its ingredients, as all the brand's waxes are marketed as. I obviously can't confirm or deny this claim, but I will say that regardless of the brand, 9 times out of 10, the durability claims they tell you are rarely possible to achieve. What I can, however, confirm is that this is an excellent wax that applies beautifully and wipes off just as easily, leaving a shine that puts it up there with the best products here. And the protection it provides is also encouraging at this early stage, as water spots, although still visible, were able to be removed quite easily with a simple wash and a final dry buff. I love the fact that Angel Wax makes these smaller samples available, as at $165 for 250 grams, this is far and away the most expensive wax here, and it has a lot to live up to if that price point is to be justified. Second up is Optimum's Car Wax. I know I've been a little slow in getting around to finally trying this product, but seriously, there's dozens of other products out there that I'm likewise still yet to try. I want to say first up that this is without a doubt the quickest and easiest application I've ever experienced with a wax. The lack of residue and ease of workability just make it a pleasure to apply. As a general rule, I tend to use certain sealants over waxes as my personal preference for various reasons. But if I was to choose a wax to apply professionally in my business, I would strongly be looking at this product for its speedy application as well as its amazing value at $80 for 3.8 litres, which only one other product here can beat price-wise. Again, I can't confirm Optimum's claim of 5 months durability, but I can say that compared to the Angel Wax over the last month or so, the water spots on the Optimum Wax seem to leave their mark a little more prominently. And although it does leave a great glossy finish, it's not a class leader in that area. Next up is HD's Epoxy. I will say first up that I just love the finish of this product. It's actually the same wax that's contained in HD Speed, which I use far more often. Unlike the Angel Wax and a few other products here, it's more of a wet sealant type look rather than a warmer wax type gloss. So that can be more of a personal preference. It has one of the easiest applications, but to help increase its durability, it's best to allow this product to dry to a haze before removing it, though it still comes off effortlessly. I know from experience that although it does provide fair durability and protection, it's not at the top of the list in those areas. 1 to 3 months is about as long as this product will last in most cases. Whilst making this video, I actually saw the release of HD's new epoxy, which is meant to be a lot more durable, and that's fantastic if it really does deliver in this area, as it's the only real issue I have with this product. At about $55 for a litre, it sits about mid-price range, but is not available here in Australia as 3.8 litres, which I'm sure would create far greater value. On to Collinite 845 Insulator Wax. I first tried this product many years ago, mostly out of curiosity, as I think it was the first wax I ever saw in a bottle back then. Not that it's a liquid wax really, or even a solid paste wax at that, it looks more like curdled cream. But I do remember really liking its easy application and added lubrication, which was great in comparison to the other waxes I was using back then. However, by today's standards, its ease of use is neither great nor bad, and the finish it provides I would also place in the mid-range category. Still very nice, but not the winner here. One thing that has still remained true to this product is the great protection and durability that was class leading in its day and is still up there with the best waxes a decade or two down the track. At $30 for about 500ml, it's another mid-price product here, but its 2 to 4 month durability in my experience makes it better value than many less durable waxes out there. A wax I tried a few years after 845 was the brand's 476 Double Coat Auto Wax. The reason being that this was meant to be a step up on the Insulator wax's already great durability, which it is. And if longevity is your main goal, this is one of the few waxes I've tried that can actually give you 6 months plus durability in real world conditions, but it'll be more like 3 to 5 months on average. So it will last a month or two longer than 845, but be prepared to put on your boxing gloves as you'll be fighting to apply and remove this sometimes crazy hard wax, depending on the weather, that really makes you work for it. And for harder paints it may be fine, but using this on some soft Honda paint may have you returning back to the polishing step to remove the marring that this wax has induced. Its finish is nice, though I like 845 better in that respect, and it can be a little tacky to the touch. At $30 for 250 grams, it's twice the price of 845, but it will give you more applications per gram, placing its value closer in line. Onto Meguiars Cleaner Wax. This is another product that's been around forever. Unlike your typical sealant, most natural waxes have great cleaning abilities to help take care of any mild blemishes as well as fill in any minor defects. This particular wax, however, does a slightly better job at that than most. If you're the type of person that prefers not to, or just hasn't got the time to get the paint to a near perfect state before applying your wax, Cleaner Wax is a great product to help you remove and cover those imperfections. You could even look at it as an old school all-in-one polish or wax. As far as finish and smooth to the touch feel goes, this isn't going to win any prizes, but it's by no means bad in this area. Its durability is pretty much low to mid-range, as is its ease of application, but it's still a good all-round wax with fantastic cleaning abilities and represents great value at $30 for this 300 gram plus tin. Also from Meguiars is their next generation Paste Tech Wax 2.0. I've talked about this product in a previous video, how for many years it was my go-to wax. Because of the fantastic gloss and depth of shine it created, as well as its ease of application compared to the old school waxes I was using back then. But placing it side by side with some of the more modern waxes out there made me realise how much these products have advanced in their overall user experience. This is still a step up on Cleaner Wax in both its finish and its smoother feel, and although it's a little harder to work than some, it's nowhere near as tough as something like Collinite 476. Its durability is average, usually lasting 1 to 3 months, and it comes in about mid-price range at $40 for this 300 gram plus tin. Scholl Concepts is their W6 Plus Crystal Wax. Much like most of the brand's range, this is another great product. Its ease of application produces a speedy result with one of the better finishes here. Its durability is also a front runner, being better than most, with the ability to protect the cast paint from the elements a little better than your average wax. This product is what I consider an all-rounder, where it can do everything really well, but at the same time it doesn't excel in any one particular area, except for its unmatched sun-friendly application that as a mobile detailer is a great product to have and pull out on those particular days and moments. With its strawberry but still chemically smell, it at least tries to give you a pleasant aroma. And at $50 per litre, it's another mid-range priced wax. Next up is another product I've featured in a previous video, Pinnacle's SOUVERAN Wax. This has been an overall favourite wax of mine in recent years. One great thing I love about it is its no curing or hazing time. It's one of the few waxes you can actually wipe on and wipe off a panel at a time, making for a really speedy application. I also love the finish it produces, which is more in line with your traditional waxes, giving the paint a nice rich glow. Its durability is more in line with the better waxes, lasting a good 2 to 3 months in my experience. Another thing I like and discovered about this wax is its ability to quite easily bond to certain sealants and work as a top coat, still providing good longevity. Whereas your more standard waxes just don't last very long when applied over tight hydrophobic sealants that like to repel anything that comes in contact with them. Although I love its amazing finish, there is perhaps another product here that is slightly better in that respect, as well as in its glass-like smoothness. At about $130 for this 230 gram jar, it's at the high end price-wise, but it truly does go a long way, getting a good 20 plus applications out of this jar. Onto P21's Concours Look Canuba Wax. Anyone who has tried this product should know what a great wax it really is. I'll go as far as saying that finish-wise, for me personally, it gets the gold medal here. Though I was really impressed with the Angel Wax, and the Pinnacle is so ever close. Its smooth glossy finish is also perhaps at the top of the list, which really helps repel contaminants and further increases its durability, which, although it won't win any prizes for longevity, is still quite good for a wax. It's not the most sun-friendly product here, nor is it the worst, and its ability to protect the paint, I feel, is also in the mid-range. So honestly, if you're looking for a wax that looks fantastic and doesn't cost the earth, this $60 175 gram jar of wax, though not cheap, really does deliver in many areas, especially if you're looking for that show car finish and shine. Soft 99's Fuso Coat is a product I wasn't sure if I should add to this video, as it is labelled as a paint coat, but it's not a coating in the sense of a nano or a ceramic, and its packaging, look and feel, as well as its application, is identical to most waxes on the market. So that was my reasoning for including it in this lineup. Anyone who's tried this product should be able to confirm that its strongest point is its fantastic durability that takes first prize in this area, even lasting longer than Collinite 476, but being so much easier to apply. Ultimately, it really is more of a sealant in the way it creates a tighter, more hydrophobic finish that protects the paint better than your average wax can, and is on par with the top performing sealants out there that can truly give you 6 months plus of longevity rather than just claiming it. It doesn't have the most seamless, buttery application of something like SOUVERAN wax, nor is the finish as smooth to the touch as something like P21's. But like I said, these are perhaps 10 to 15% differences, as it does have its own great look. But on a side-by-side comparison with these competing waxes, it's just not the winner in that area. At about $35 for this 200 gram tin, it's on the lower end of the price range, but its great durability brings its value to even a better position. Last but not least is Finish Care's High Temp Paste Wax. I think the biggest downfall of this product is its overly cheap price. Whereas if it were more expensive, I think it will gain the following and respect that it greatly deserves. Not that it has a bad name or anything, I just think it should be more popular than it is. This is an extremely durable wax that can rival the Fuso Coat in its long-lasting application, but is still a little easier to apply, and at less than $1 on average to coat most vehicles, it is far and beyond the greatest value wax I've ever come across. It has more of a slick gloss sealant look rather than a deep reach wax-like finish. But that's another personal preference that you have to make. I wouldn't say its finish takes the win, but its slick smooth feel is up there with the best. As is its protection that creates a barrier that really deals with contaminants more effectively than most. This is the product that's currently on my work van as a top coat over Ammo Reflex. The initial coat of Reflex, although very nice, just didn't compare with the combination of the High Temp Paste Wax as a topper. This really amplified the gloss and has made the upkeep of the van a pleasure to maintain. Even more than 6 months on now, it beads like crazy, and 90% of the dirt just hoses off effortlessly. Just before I wrap this video up, I want to reinstate the importance of thoroughly preparing the paint before applying any sort of protection, whether it be a wax sealant or coating. As I know from past experiences that Even some of the least durable waxes, when applied correctly, will last longer than a durable sealant that has not been applied with the adequate preparation. And if you or your customers don't maintain that coating, don't expect it to last anywhere near what the label says. I really hope you enjoyed and found this video useful. Please like, comment and subscribe to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.